Alright, once you've made a copy of practice example 2, you'll notice this is exactly where we left off last time. But let's be honest, it's hideous. We need to format this so that it looks good. Alright, first thing is all your assignments should have a title centered across your data. In this case, our data goes from A to H, so that's where we're going to do it. Problem is, we really didn't leave us any room. So click up here in A1 and then go to Insert, Row Above. So that gives us one. Let's just do one more. Insert row above. Okay, so let's have our title be TV shows people watch, and then hit enter. So notice that we have a big spot that we want to center this across, but we're going to do this a little differently. Instead of like typing it over here, with your black arrow, click and drag over from A1 to H1. And then up on your toolbar, you'll notice you get these two arrows pointing together. That's merging. It turns all those cells into one big old cell. So there we go. One cell. Now we can center it. We can make it bigger like a title should be. We can change the font to something a little bit more fun. And we can, maybe let's put a background color on it right here. Kind of feeling a little bluish today. You can change the font color if you want, right? Maybe even a little darker blue then. Alright, so there's our title. Looks awesome. Our column headers are very important. Otherwise, what do these numbers even mean? So let's add a few over here. So TV shows. And then let's pretend like these are demographic statistics. So we'll say ages 10 to 18. And then ages 19 to 30. Alright, let's highlight these guys. And we will center them, and let's bold them so they stand out. Maybe put a background color on, still sticking with the blue theme, but a little bit less there. Alright, so that's starting to look good. These numbers, I kind of want those centered too, because otherwise it looks weird. And you know what? This kind of looks weird too, so I'm going to put this guy back over on the left. Alright, so let's format. What if these were advertising dollars? We don't want that to put a dollar sign each time, right? That we format in dollar signs. So highlight your data, and then up here we have this 1, 2, 3. Yes, there's this dollar sign, and you can use that later, but let's just look at 1, 2, 3. We've got plain text, number, percent, scientific, financial, currency, all these different choices in here. So let's choose currency. By default, there's 2 decimal places to currency, but we don't have any cents, so let's get rid of them. Right here we have decrease and increase decimal places, so let's decrease it by 2, so now it's just plain. And notice, because these are formulas, they are linked and they have turned into currency as well, but we're actually going to change those. So highlight the numbers under add, and let's go up here and choose number, but let's just give it 1 decimal place. Okay, subtract. Did you know, if you take accounting one day, you will, that in financial terms we always put parentheses around the negatives, and since these are all negatives, we can do that. For multiply, let's choose our scientific. Doesn't really make sense, but we're just practicing. For divide, let's use percent, and maybe just 1 decimal place. And then average, let's keep it as currency, but some of these had 50 cents, so let's put our 2 decimal places back by increasing it 2, so we have that. Alright, looking good. Okay, our functions, let's have those guys stand out a little bit. We'll put a border around it. Now, we don't get a lot of choices when we do our borders in Google Sheets, but we can do something. So it looks like a window pane up here. Click on that, and you have to go in the right order for this to work. So first, select your color. Since I'm doing blue, I'm going to stick with a blue. And then you pick your style. Do you want solid, dotted, dashed? So I'm just going to stay with solid. And then we pick what kind of border. Do you want it just around the outside? I'm going to choose everywhere. And then as I click off of it, hey, there's my border right there. You can see it's kind of blue. If I wanted to make it a little bit more of a light blue, then I could pick this guy. And then pick this guy again, and see now it's the light blue. Alright, one more formatting thing just to make our life easy when we do our next thing. Highlight Survivor and the 2 colors that go with it, and then give it a color. It doesn't really matter what. We just want to be able to recognize those 2 numbers without having to memorize them. Alright? Okay, so Everything is formatted, looks awesome on all your assignments. Make sure you put a title across the top, add some colorful background, some colors. You can change font colors, right? Your goal is to make sure you're showing me that you know how to format. All right, let's say we were supposed to put this in alphabetical order. Well, too late for that, but it really isn't. What we're going to do is we're going to sort it. Now there is just one key rule to sorting, and it's you got to highlight all your data, including your column headers. You could leave those out, but it just makes our life easy. Now these are formulas, they're not data. We could have highlighted them because they're horizontal to this, but they're going to change anyway as these change. Never blank rows, never functions. We want those to stay at the bottom, never your title. So once your data is highlighted, come up here to data. Just ignore these, they are not helpful. We want sort range. Alright, so did we have a header row? Notice, without it checked, we have column A, B, and C, but that means that these are going to get sorted as well. So we say, yes, we have a header row. So now it says TV shows and ages 10 to 18 and 19 to 30, so it's helping us. So we want to sort by TV shows, and then we have alphabetically or reverse alphabetically, or if we're using numbers, this is ascending, so like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is descending like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, sort. So now, alphabetical order, but just as important, survivor is still with the two numbers to which it belongs. Had we just highlighted only this column and only alphabetized the shows but left the numbers where they were, all of a sudden our data doesn't make sense because survivor is not with the numbers to which it belongs. All right, let's sort one more time. So highlight your data, come up here to data and sort range. This time let's sort by 19 to 30 from highest to lowest. So these are numbers, but we're still Z to A, that's descending. So sort. So now house is at the top because it's got the largest number, but just as importantly, survivor is still with the two numbers to which it belongs. So sorting, you just got to remember, highlight all your data, and it'll be easy for you to do.